You upload a few PDFs to NotebookLM, ask a question, and get back a block of text so generic that any other AI chatbot could have produced it. It reads like a standard textbook summary, disconnected from what you actually need. But with a few specific adjustments, you can turn this basic chatbot into a tailored research assistant, one that actively hunts for blind spots in your logic and generates polished, client-ready deliverables. To set this up, you need three things: a Google account, a specific project topic, like a freelance pricing strategy, and 3 to 5 diverse source documents to start with. Out of the box, NotebookLM defaults to broad, safe responses because it does not know who you are or what you are trying to accomplish. Explicitly overriding these defaults forces the tool to give you specific, actionable answers. Step 1 is naming your notebook. Leaving it as untitled or calling it research wastes a crucial opportunity. By naming it exactly what you are working on, like freelance pricing strategy Q2, you give the AI immediate context for the entire workspace. Next, look in the top right corner of the chat panel for a small icon called Configure Chat. Opening this menu lets you escape the AI's default persona. This side-by-side layout shows the distinct difference this menu makes. Inside the settings, switch from default to custom and paste in the exact role you want the AI to play. Right below that, toggle the response length to longer to ensure maximum detail. The generic summary on the left is replaced by targeted, expert-level advice on the right. Once you lock these two settings in, they stay active for every single conversation in that notebook until you manually change them. By defining an explicit role upfront, the AI stops acting like a general summarizer. Instead, it interprets every document you upload through the critical lens of a targeted expert. To populate the notebook, prioritize variety. If you upload 5 blog posts that all say the exact same thing, the AI will repeat one perspective 5 different ways. You need diverse angles, like a rate benchmark report, a client survey, and a case study, to give the AI real material to work with. If you are missing external data, click Add Sources and select Deep Research. Deep Research is a built-in automated tool that runs a full search across the web to pull in new information. Before running it, give the tool strict constraints. Tell it to focus on academic papers and industry data, and explicitly instruct it to ignore opinion pieces and blog posts. This filters out low-quality filler before it ever reaches your workspace. This diagram illustrates how you audit those sources. Paste in a prompt asking NotebookLM to scan across all your documents for contradictions or gaps. It will come back flagging where your data conflicts, like one report using hourly rates while another uses project-based pricing, and tell you exactly what topics are completely missing. Running this check early exposes your blind spots. A thoroughly vetted, gap-free source library gives the AI strict boundaries, keeping it from making things up and ensuring every deliverable it builds is grounded in solid evidence. NotebookLM also features audio overviews, which generate AI podcast discussions of your sources. The default deep dive format gives you a friendly conversational summary. But to stress test your material, change the format selector to critique. In critique mode, the AI hosts stop being helpful summarizers. Instead, they actively hunt for structural weaknesses, unsupported claims, and places where your argument falls apart. Once the audio starts generating, you will see a button labeled Interactive Mode next to the play controls. Clicking this lets you join the conversation live. You can pause the hosts mid-sentence and type in a custom question. If you ask them to evaluate a specific scenario, like a client with an unoptimized supply chain, they will pause, address your exact scenario, and then pick up exactly where they left off. This process takes a passive listening experience and turns it into a live interrogation. You uncover the exact flaws in your logic before a client or a reviewer ever points them out. When you are ready to present your findings, look to the right side of the screen and open the Studio panel. This is where your vetted research gets turned into finished deliverables, starting with slide decks. Looking at this presentation layout, NotebookLM builds a solid deck in about 90 seconds. If it generates a slide with the right information but the wrong layout, do not regenerate the entire presentation. Just select that specific slide, hit Revise, and tell it to reformat the text into a 2-column comparison. It updates instantly. For written documents, skip the generic templates entirely. Click Create Your Own under the Report section and paste in a highly specific structural prompt. It will generate exactly what you asked for, formatted perfectly for your client. This progress bar illustrates the platform's hard limits on source uploads. The free plan caps at 50 sources, and the Pro plan hits maximum capacity at 300. Once you reach that number, you cannot add anything new without deleting something first. To bypass this limit, ask NotebookLM in the chat to synthesize 5 or 10 of your existing sources into one detailed response. Then click the Save to Note button at the bottom of that output. Next, click the 3 dots on that saved note and select Convert to Source. That note is now an actual document the AI can reference. Finally, delete the original documents you just compressed to drop your capacity counter back down. This compression technique allows you to consolidate your research, keeping the crucial information while freeing up slots for new uploads. It allows the notebook to continue building on its own generated knowledge even after hitting the initial source limit. You just went from a pile of disconnected PDFs to a highly organized workspace with tested arguments and formatted deliverables. Getting these results takes a fraction of the time you would normally spend, provided you configure the expert role and formatting settings before you ever ask your first question. NotebookLM is most effective when you move past the default settings. Its utility scales with your ability to curate the documents you feed it, test its logic, and dictate exactly how it structures its final outputs. Open NotebookLM right now and apply this exact configuration to your current project. Then drop a comment below letting me know which audio format gave you the most useful insights.